Okay, remember, people that think like this guy, okay, keep her in mind. We'll get to her momentarily. Okay, edited my picture, okay, to make it so I seem like a liberal gay person. That's why I put, they covertly edited my picture. It's close in some ways, but the spirit is off. The spirit was divine. The look was divine. You could tell that I was a serious martial artist that no one could beat and the most handsome guy ever. But even in this reduced picture, okay, it's part of why it's dumb to edit my pictures, because even in this reduced picture, and everyone will figure out that they're editing it for many, many reasons, okay, you see that I'm far more handsome. Look at my uniform, right? I'm obviously not racist because I'm wearing an Asian uniform and a hat that sometimes white people in Santa Cruz or something will wear, you know, a beanie. And I mixed them together, right, for a certain look. So you can tell that when you look at that, to some degree, people get that I don't see myself as a Buddhist martial artist. Okay. Now let's look over here where we see Serapis and his genius. I'll put the genius pictures from the Wikipedia article later. The genius is not being smart, it is a satanic LGBT idea, and it has to do with rape cults and what it inspires them, right? What inspires them to cheat everybody, right? The grand dragon, the ancient serpent, the devil, okay? Obviously, that guy knows he's evil. In the Bible, the dragon or the ancient serpent is the devil. So why does he have a cross nonetheless? Okay? Because he represented for the sentiment of the white society, which is that they want it their way, and these guys are like the strong arm behind the scenes, one of the many groups these days that exist behind the scenes to enforce white supremacy. That's not a coincidence that you see English kind of quote unquote royals wearing that sash thing, and that guy's wearing it too. In fact, Nathan Bedford Forrest, who said to start the Ku Klux Klan, was of English descent. Okay, so we see this. Notice that this guy looks like this guy and this guy. That is Apep from Egyptian artwork, and this is Serapis, and this is Serapis, and those are the false Jesus. I meant to say false Jesus image. Okay, these guys are the sons of the devil, the sons of the kind of racist LGBT cults that dominated Greece and Rome and spread throughout Europe and became the governing class of Europe if they weren't that already. So I'm going to read this briefly, okay? But first, let me touch on this here. You see how this guy's wearing green, okay, and she's wearing green. Now, by that self, maybe that's a coincidence, okay? But what it symbolizes is guys like this guy team up with guys like this guy and the rest of the white community, okay, with very few dissenters, if any. These days, I haven't met one white person other than my mom that I would honestly say has really done anything significant to dissent. My mom, all she really did was have you marry a black guy during a time when they didn't approve, and she married the right one to be outside of the boundaries of Satan's cultural grip of the world. So obviously, when you see that association, it's pretty strong. And in that same Mortal Kombat video game, there's another guy called Reptile who wears green, who turns into a reptile, and you have Liu Kang who turns into a dragon, who's an Asian guy, and he's a Buddhist guy or something, and so on and so forth. Okay, notice he's holding the panties, and this guy says, "Stay away from the white girls." Panty raid. Okay, he's not going to say it. This guy's not going to say it to this guy, but he's say it to me. Okay, even though Jews are Semites and they're mixed with black, and that's a long story. Okay, and a lot of Jews were in the Klan. See, the Klan, it gets confusing. The Klan doesn't like Jews in popular culture, but a lot of Jews were in the Klan. Okay, a lot of white people did business. Their ancestors did business together in the slave trade. It's a long story why that is. That's why it's called Judeo-Christian culture. Not just because Jews started Christianity, so to speak, but because uh, Jews are so influential in the culture historically. All right. The ancient serpent the Bible is referring to as the spirit of Apep, a people, right? A pepple, a people. Also see Camp, which is another serpent deity, and an Egyptian and an Egyptian rape and cult deity. Okay, so Apep, okay, is the ancient serpent, the devil, and an Egyptian rape cult deity. And of course, it goes back to genius, right? He's a deceiver. He says that's smart. He's snaking people, right? Anyway, Set is a deity of confusion, chaos, foreigners, the desert, evil, storms, and calculated rape that is smoothed over. Set became team mates. Say mates, mates is Set scrambled with The millions of members of Apep's fertility slash sex cult. Set is said to have replaced Apep in Genesis, and okay, I meant to put replaced Abel. Abel. So that's a typo. Okay, a lot of times I'm fumed and so on and so forth. Maybe they're editing the words too. I've noticed that they change the words with the autocorrect in ways that are ridiculous and just happen to make it seem like I'm not making sense. Okay. Anyway, so Set is said to has replaced Abel in Genesis, and and the mainly Christian colonists were called settlers. Think settler, right? To lure people. Solar bolt, right? Lure, right? When they're in charge of things, they lure people in with the idea and associations. Like so priests will wear things that are similar to me, right? And okay, so look at the collar, for example, the white, and so on and so forth. Anyway, okay, settler, set the stage, set up, and a group or a set of people, right? Set forms, especially human war forms, including the snake, jackal, resembles a fox and a wolf, hippo and a boar. Beware of his passive deer, mule, antelope, and impala energies. In people, they confusion. Okay, so you see someone, like a lot of females look like a deer in headlights or something. Okay, they're actually horrible, horrible people. They're not good people. Okay, their scale is garbage. And if you put your faith in them, if you think that, hey, I'll put my guard down, okay, they'll betray you too. So he has many forms as part of his deceiving. And you see things like in video games, guys that can change forms, shapeshifters, right? This has to do with the offspring of people who go around the world and mix their DNA with people, and they come out in different forms, but that RNA expression, that set expression dominates it, right? Anyway, remember, this is also their explanation, not just mine. It's an explanation of the whites and every other race that were in Egypt. It's an explanation of Greece and Rome. It's an explanation in English cults and French and so on and so forth. German, okay? This is not just my explanation. All right. People took on animal characteristics in Egypt. In fact, animos means spirit in the Greek culture. People took on animal characteristics in Egypt, and the leaders of the KKK, who basically the whole white community collaborated with, were called Grand Dragons. That wasn't the only racist white club. There was countless white fraternities that were racist and that collaborated with Klan people, and they thought the same way. These guys just took on a specific form of it. Basically, everyone but me is in the reproductive spirit or energy of Apep Set, which lacks potent, accurate focus, moral courage, among other things. He is the enemy of the true martial arts hero and the founder of the Greco-Roman, Phoenician, and Sumerian, etc. deities' reproductive cycle. So you see the panther or the leopard, right? The leopard, the cat of Ra, the true cat of Ra, and not some guys dressing up like a cat going rah and acting like a bitch, okay? Okay, it is enemy. The leopard kills the big snakes in Africa, okay? And notice this guy, it looks like he could be a big black guy wearing the outfit, okay, a big Nigerian or something. And there's a reason for that, because these disagreements transcend race. There's people from all races, there's Asians, there's black guys who take on their cult philosophy in their own way and form their own groups. Okay. So we're going to get into this in the next video. The Isis, and notice he's measuring her her forehead and so on and so forth. Hitler was the only one who thought that way. Okay, so basically you have some more Egyptian. This is later on in Egypt after they've already changed the way they look by raping the women there, coercing them into sex, taking over the cults there, and controlling sexual behavior. But after a while, this chick turns into this chick, right? Okay, so to speak, right? For example, and this chick turns into this chick, and she's batshit crazy, gender neutral, androgynous features, gender neutral. Okay, and she's helping them set people up. And before you know it, the Princess Leia types are with the Princess Leia slut show in the corporations and skaters and so on and so forth. Okay, this one shows it again. And they become sex magic people and so on and so forth. Okay, they stop using their heads. Okay, you see, it starts off with the slave trade. So notice that she resembles her, and Princess Leia also resembles Aphrodite's depiction here, and it says love struck, right? She's used against people like me, okay? And also resembles the Mona Lisa. So who is that chick? She's a form of Isis. She's a form of the Virgin Mary. She's a form of Venus, Aphrodite. She's a slut. And here over here we see free lover, right? Is liberated, right? And she has dark wings on. The Statue of Liberty is satanic. and you see the Serapis pictures. We'll get into that more in detail in another video. Getting ahead of myself, you see it's similar to how God is depicted in Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel, and they admit he's androgynous, he's gender neutral, right? These are LGBT, white, and Jewish supremacist cults. I've proven that definitively. We'll go over it more another day.